Fabian figurines, complete with the Doinka and Zima six-pack.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those being anatomically correct?
Well, I don't think they are. That guy, that figurine is hung like a horse, quite frankly, and I'm topping out at about 2 flaccid, really. But I'm not sure. I mean, it's an interesting question because I always wonder if somebody, when they're aroused, if there can be a difference. For instance, if you have someone who's too soft and maybe like 4 soft, if the guy who's too soft can maybe bump it up to like 10 hard. I mean, or is it just that like if you're too soft and you go up to 8 soft, that means the guy who's 4 is definitely going to be 10. You know what I'm saying?
For those people at home, Bruce, not familiar with the formation, let's break it down in a game time graphic brought to you by FAF.
Well, here it is. The 4 corners is a restart formation similar to the jump ball in basketball. If a referee senses a stalemate between the players, they can intercede and make the call, where all the players will retreat to their individual corners of the playing area to await the melon, which will be dropped from the bottom center of the pool. Once the melon breaks the surface, the players are allowed to swim towards the center and try and gain possession.
We have a minute while the referees confer, and while we wait, let's take a look at the bios of Team USA. At 5'10" and 180 pounds, Eldrick Vitamin Jones constitutes the bulk and enthusiasm of this U.S. team. Colonel Theodore Fabian comes into this competition at an even 6 foot and weighing 135 pounds. On the other side of the pool, we have the towering frame of Canadians' power forward Money, who stands out of the water at 6'2" and weighs in at a firm 195 pounds. Opposite Money is his younger brother, Yeagle, who at 6'4" and 200 pounds might be the most physically intimidating player in the game today. And now some poolside activity. What's this here, Bruce?
Seems like they're just going to have a brief conversation before fall 2. There's really nothing extra. Wait a second. Well, he's passing the stinky cheese, I imagine. The stinky cheese should never be within the pool's boundaries. This is something I've never seen before. I'm hoping they're not planning on using it during play.
It looks like Coach LaRussa has seen something that's a little bit fishy in the pool and asking for a ruling, but the referees are making nothing.
Well, Yeagle clearly hasn't taken the cheese out of play yet. It looks like he may be planning on bringing it into play, which would be a clear indication of cheating, in my opinion.
Well, the referees haven't seen a thing yet. It looks like play will begin here in round 2. The melon is spinning and we're underway.
And the 4 corners will explode when that reaches the top, and there we go. And Vitamin Jones clearly has the early lead. Wait a second. It looks like Yeagle's thrown something. Vitamin Jones is out of the play. He's disturbed by something.
The stinky cheese has been thrown. The U.S. team is in shambles.
And Yeagle is doing the riptide. The riptide is intended to confuse the opponents. It's a classic Canadian move. And Money's making his move. He's under riptide, and he's going towards the line. He seems to have a clear path.
There are no U.S. defenders anywhere.
Oh, Colonel, clearly distraught by the cheese, is over in the corner doing nothing. And Vitamin Jones with a last-ditch effort.
To no avail. It looks like he will score easily. The Canadians on the board. Tied at 1 now. 1 away from being totally out of it, and right back in it come the Canadians with some underhanded play.
Well, Chuck, I'm very disturbed by their technique there. I mean, they're obviously congratulating each other, but using the entire cheese within the pool should be against all rules of fair sport.
And talk about fair sport, what do we have here? This kind of dancing, Bruce, we've seen it before, but do we really have to see it again?
Well, I think I, like every other American, is getting pretty tired of this silly and ridiculous Mediterranean dance.
There it is, the culprit of fall 2, the stinky Gouda cheese. It started off, all 4 men into the pool, everything equal. But the passing of the cheese early on doomed Vitamin Jones and Coach LaRussa.
Coach, I have a question for Colonel Fabian and Vitamin. There have been rumors of Coach's possible failing health. Gentlemen.
I think this question can be directed to the coach.
It is actually,
My
excuse
health
me, Coach,
is fine.
all respect, please. I was just wondering if they were concerned at all and if that affected their performance.
These guys know I'm okay.
Tragedy struck the U.S. Olympic Greasy watermelon team last night when Coach Joseph Keating was admitted to the San Francisco Presbyterian Hospital after he collapsed in the parking lot following a late-night practice. Keating's doctors say his prognosis is good, but they have barred him from actively coaching in next month's competition. Pullman, however, vowed to push forward and named as his active replacement one-time All-American and former collegiate coach Timothy LaRusso.
People in the media have portrayed it as a power play, but it really was nothing of the sort. I deserve this role, even though I have no coaching experience on a major level. And
that knocked me for a loop. Thankfully, I was able to stay focused and find my chi and move forward.
We've had nothing, so when Coach K went out, personally, it was very difficult, but competitively, you know, we find a way. We find a way.
Back on OSN, Bruce, let's talk about the stinky cheese there used in round 2. My understanding was that it could only be used on the fingertips, but the Canadians took it to a whole nother level when it went into the pool.
Well, Chuck, that's my understanding too. When they threw that cheese in the pool, they became cheaters in my book. And I'm afraid I'm a little bit perturbed by this whole thing. I've got to watch my language here for OSN and for the viewing public. I know that we're supposed to maintain some neutrality for OSN here, but this is ridiculous. The entire cheese in the pool should clearly be regarded by the referees as an illegality. I don't know what to say from here on out. I just hope the United States comes back in Fall 3, amends this mistake, and makes sure that the best team wins.
Well, all right, Bruce, and what a match we have here. Tied at 1, it looks like we're headed for a winner-take-all, third and final fall in this best-of-3 competition. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the game's exciting conclusion after these messages.
The rulebook calls for at least 2 minutes of it.
Since its arrival last week, the Canadian team
This is what they do basically. When a gonad comes out of the womb, they put him directly into a hollowed out watermelon. Is another womb basically, and then they UPS that to, or I'm not sure what sort of postal service they use, but they send it that child in the shell to basically a camp where they start to play the game. Being tough is definitely their strong suit.
In my country, we are strong people. We strive to be strong and gain strength. And through these acts of strength, we strengthen our people around us. That's what I don't understand about your country, is you stress weak things like learning and reading when they don't really matter a lot.
Tasko Wisko Bonosko Konodio Bioski. Just gathered yeah, I went down to the back. Iskibini, born in America, as Ashton Bushk, and we see the good hard. Azime, Kozime, Gimitski the baseball in the bush ping pong. With meaning back, Mansky. I will have you smash in your bed. Okay?
Here, everyone is weak and they can't take it. But in my country, when you rough someone up or beat them, they become stronger. And it's an act of teaching, learning. That is how we show respect for one another and help people to grow. But here, people just bleed and call the police.
You and your brother have been seen closing down Euro House practically every night you've been here. Do you think maybe you're taking this competition a little too lightly?
That is not for me to say. We train very hard during the day, and at night we party and disco dance very hard. We rock hard. We are winners. We always win.
To be honest with you, I don't think much about those guys. To me, they're just another cone I gotta get around.
USA executing the picket fence to perfection, wrapping up Money, and bringing him up to the surface, forcing a break in play. I believe they're going to go with Ring Around the Rosie.
Well, actually, Chuck, it's called the Ring Around the Melon, and the graphics brought to you by Wolverine Motors. When the referee sees a stoppage in play, he or she has two choices. It's either the four corners or the ring around the melon. In this case, the ring around the melon involves all four players holding hands at the center of the pool and the melon being released in the middle of them. As the melon comes up to the top here, you're going to see a mad scramble as these players are as close as they're going to be during the entire game.
A breakaway is inevitable and the crowd knows it.
Grab the melon!
Looks like it's taken by Money.
Oh, Yigal Pazaravlov has immediately left the circle and gone to the sideline.
And Money has control, but it's taken away by Fabian.
Oh, he's going for the stinky cheese, but no, Vitamin Jones counters him by throwing it directly up his nose. And now Vitamin Jones is exiting the pool.
Now he has 10 seconds to get back into the pool, or else he's automatically disqualified.
That's right, Chuck, and time is counting down right now. This is a very dangerous move this late in the match. Oh, he's quickly got to move. The referee's getting out of the way. My God, the melon's been dropped in. There's no telling where the melon is, and our underwater cameras don't have it, and our above water cameras are clearly stuck on Yigal choking on the stinky cheese.
Looks like an over-the-head pass, and what a great move that was. Fabian, underneath, in total control.
Wait, the Colonel is completely on his own. The only person close to him is Vitamin Jones.
This is it, the championship no one thought they'd see.
He's just got it over, and Vitamin helps him in the last moment, and that's a goal! The USA wins!
It's unthinkable. The USA has won the gold medal in Greasy Watermelon.
They have vanquished the Ghanadians, the champions for the last 20 years. Oh, Ghanadia is vanquished. How's your stinky cheese smell now, bitches?
And the first gold medal offered in Greasy Watermelon belongs to the United States of America. Get out your whetstone because Colonel Fabian and Vitamin Jones are going to slice the melon open and share it with the rest of the world.
Coach K! Coach K! Coach K, it's for you, Coach K! I love you, Coach K!
You worry on hurting anybody anymore. You worry on small comfort. One of us seems not to tremble. You make a rift inside me every day.
I could have easily just sunk to the bottom of the pool and stayed there, but I didn't.
I walk the edge and push it wider. You are forgiven. I open all my doors. You are forgiven.
It's all been worth it, and hopefully the outcome will be as rewarding as the whole, the process has been.
I try harder and wait for a warmer season. Meanwhile, you are forgiven. I hear a soft noise like a sigh, a singing like a lullaby. It is my heart, it is this wind that blows through where you held me closer, where we whispered, this is true. You are forgiven. I open all my doors. You are forgiven.
I would like him to say that after all was said and done, you did really want that hot dog.
They're like sons to me, and this is the last time you'll hear it, boys. But I love those guys.
Forgiven, and it's time to go.
I spent the day where the ocean meets the land, and I frolicked in the sand.
I played with the shells on the seashore, and I made a castle out of sand. And then I took my pail and my shovel in my hand and went down where the ocean meets the land. It was beautiful and breezy. Making sand castles is not that easy when big boys are running around and kicking it to the ground.
Everybody knows those people who take their babies to the beach. They don't wear no little doinkas.
You see them topless and they're naked. And then you say, hey, that's a little girl. But there are no big bumps on her chest. You'll have to wait some years till the girl becomes a woman. But still you think, hey, just the same, she's running around topless. And then you say, I met the girl of my dreams. And then you only find that she's 4 years old.
4 years old,
but still I loved her like I love a sunny
rubbing her
day.
with oil.
I said, will you put some on my back? And her daddy took her back to the blanket.
Boy, it's starting
on the beach.
to boil, boil.
Ding, 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 it's the distant sound of the ice cream man who comes every hour on the hour. He brings ice cream treats.
Pop rockets,
everyone.
pop rockets, pop rockets.
And stars like Stoop Dodgies.
And his bell goes ding-a-ling.
Ding, ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
I got sand in my sandwich, but the ice cream man is here.
He sells dope out of the back.
All the little kids come running and they run back after he says, do you want a hit? The first is free, you don't even have to pay me.
I ain't talking no crack. Strictly goofballs and powdered stuff. There's 2 words he's never heard. I think I've had enough.
So I went down to the volleyball court and I started to hit the ball around with my friends.
Is that St. John Smith?
St. John Smith and Karch Karai were there. And me and my friend said, hey, do you want to play? They were muscular and big. They had weird Oakleys on their head.
And wearing doinkas.
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 Doinkas. They'll wear them when they're dead. 'Cause they're beach volleyball jockeys.
Jockeys.
Who just can't seem to get enough. They beat the crap out of me and my friend. And they really, really played kinda rough. They slammed me into the net and then they beat me with a pole. They took the ball and they shoved it up my friend's ass, and then he was really uncomfortable for a minute. They're mean guys.